All right, hey everybody, all you van lifers out there. First of all, hit the subscribe button. I need 1,000 followers to be able to monetize this job and need your help. So anyway, thank you if you already subscribed. We talked to Fresair. Actually, we talked to Alex and Sarah James over at 40 Hours of Freedom. They are the best people ever. If you don't have the time and got the money to have somebody else do it and do it right, they are definitely who you want to talk to. Anyway, they are kind of a distributor. If you go to Fresair's website, they actually have pictures of Sarah and Alex's vans on there. But I wanted to try to order the new s7i, which is one that doesn't have a tank separate down by your water tank. The tank is actually included in the unit up on the top. Last time I installed one, I didn't realize that when the wire split, half of it has to go to your electrical on one side, the other has to go down to where the pump is to pump the water up. And I had to rip out some shiplap, and it was not a disaster, but it was a pain in the butt for sure. So anyway, the new unit is self-contained. It's got the water tank up on the top of the roof. There's 2 1/2-inch tubes instead of the little, I think they were 1/4 inch before. Don't quote me on that size. And so there's literally one cable that comes out of this thing. Let me show y'all. There is one long cable that comes out. Sorry, I'm solo here trying to do this. Anyway, and it is super long, as you can tell. And all that's on it is a positive and a negative. Super simple. Put that bad boy up there. You want one cable down to your 12-volt panel. Tie it in. It's already got a fuse on it, so it'll be double fused. When I put one in the panel, couldn't get any easier. But there's something different. The other Fresair AC unit not only had the power coming out, but it had 2 little bitty tubes that came out. And those little tubes would go down to your water tank, or their tank, which is a big gray tank, and one would go in, and one would go to the pump to receive the water shooting up to it. Since this one, all the pumps are included in the unit, they give you 2 big 1/2-inch tubes that are probably 3/8 ID on the inside, but instead of coming out here, they come out over here on the side. So what you have to do is, we will have to cut the hole, which is approximately 14 by 14. We'll make a template for it. Actually, I might have my template from my old one. But then on the side, you're gonna have to figure out, make sure you don't drill the holes on the wrong damn side of your van. Figure out which is the front, which is the back. Tape it off, mark it, go up there, drill 2 holes in your roof, and then whenever you mount this bad boy, those tubes are you're gonna have to drop those tubes through, and then the unit drops down through and pulls tight. So you're really gonna have to butyl tape around those really well. I will probably put butyl tape around the outside, and while it's still wet, put a big glob of Flex Seal, the kind that comes in a tube, or some lap sealant around the outside of the butyl. Maybe do 2 rows of butyl with lap seal in the middle, something crazy, I don't know. Drop those tubes through so that when it pulls down, and then you still seal the entire outside. Now, the thing I love about the Ford Transit that I don't like about the Sprinter and the ProMaster, the roof is smooth. Let me show you all this. I gotta go unlock the damn van first. I know this is getting long and boring, but boy, it'll definitely be worth it, because this is the first. I talked to Fresair through Alex, hooked me up with them for any questions. This will be the first s7i self-contained unit installed in a van ever. He said they've done them in golf carts, other things, but anyway, if you look at the roof, there's not all those ridges. It's nice and smooth, and this is more than 14 inches across here. Actually, here's where I'm butting the damn thing. I don't know what I'm talking about, AC. It's totally smooth, so you can do a 14 by 14 box. You got these extra little supports right here, which is where those metal brackets that pull it up tight are gonna be. I'm trying to envision this thing. I think the water tubes are going to be over on this side here. So anyway, it will drop down. Those water tubes will come in. I'll have them go over down through here down to my water boxes, which are over there. Actually, they're going to probably come down and go through these holes here because I'm going to put protection all around those so no metal cuts it. Run them down, pop them out here into my water tanks. Less tanks, less connections. You literally have 2 water connections and hook something to your 12 volt. Much easier, but you do have to drill 2 holes in your van, and you have to worry about leakage. So that's something we're going to take care of. But anyway, that's where it's going to go. I'll keep y'all updated. All right, for the Fresair s7i, they don't give you a template. It's a little different, and that the other unit, you would get up there, you would pull the cover off, pull the pine filter off. There would be some holes that you could mark, drill, and then drop through. Here, there's no template. So what I did was basically measured this inside edge here where it gets flat. You can kind of see that that is 16 by 13. So I just cut a hole 16 by 13. This drops all the way through. I just put my cardboard over it and just kind of pushed on it to make holes where these bolts are going to come through. The only tricky spot is going to be these 2 hoses right here. So I kind of mark roughly where they are. I am going to measure from that bolt and that bolt, try to triangulate to get 2 holes here. Feed my stuff through, make sure it looks good. And then when I actually cut the roof, I'm actually going to come in, I'm going to mark this entire square because I know that's big enough, but when I cut, I'm actually going to cut probably about 1/4 of an inch in. It doesn't have to matter if it's straight or not, because I'm actually going to run 2 rings of butyl tape, and they also give you this badass foam thing. I'm going to show you all this. See if you got sticky on one side. They give you this big, huge, thick. Get out in the light where you can see it really good. So I'm going to use the butyl tape on the inside, and that kind of goes around. I'm going to lay it out on this inner edge here just before I get it up there to make sure that that's where it goes. But like last time, I used 2 rings of butyl tape and of sorry about the angle, some foam. So we're going to use this stuff since that's the only thing that came in there. We'll put that, and when you put butyl tape or foam toward the front of the van, you want to start in the back, loop all the way around, and then meet at the back, so that the front, there's no seams and any water will shed toward the back. Also, when you do windows, same thing. When you cut these out, if you put that trim on the inside, like American Van windows, oh hell, I didn't do it on this one, but anyway, you want to start down here, work your way all the way around with one piece, and then end up back down here, so that this up here is one solid piece and any water will shed off. Anyway, hope that helps. All right, before you ever cut a hole in your roof, first thing you want to do, make sure the damn thing works, because that would suck. So I'm trying to do 3 things at once, so you're gonna have to excuse my camera. Oh hell, what should we do here? Maybe that'll come on there. I don't know if y'all can see that or not, but I am going to touch this to my battery. Okay, I'm hearing a click click. Trying to hold 3 things at once. Okay, she's blowing. So y'all can hear that. Little pieces of pine filter blowing out here. So anyway, we know that this thing is working. That's the important thing. So if we get it up there and it doesn't work, if for some reason something isn't working, we know the fan and the motor and everything works. It might just be like a pump that's not sucking water or something like that. But anyway, always want to test it first. Pull this down. See. So I'm just putting the wires onto my battery, hold them, you can hear it. Anyway, always good to test things. My Dometic fan, I didn't think it was working. I forgot to test it like an idiot, and got up there and it would not work, and I was going, oh crap, what am I going to do? And then I realized that the thermostat was turned all the way to high, so it wasn't, and it's cool out here this morning, so when I turned the temperature down to cool toward the blue, fired right up. And the roof has to be open. It won't let it blow air if the roof's all the way down. It's got a safety mechanism. So I had to open the vent. But anyway, it works great. So All right, we're off to go put this baby on the roof, or go cut a hole first. All right, everybody, I want to give you one last shot to look at this thing before I put it up here. So these 4 mounting bolts are already anchored in, unlike the regular Fresair AC that you have to put these in. These are already in. They give you this awesome rubber tubing, or insulation. So anyway, this is going to go, it's not insulation, whatever you want to call it, foam rubber to keep water out. This I'm going to put around the outside of these tubes here, and then I'm also going to put some butyl tape around the holes. This will be attached actually red side down like this onto here. It's not big enough, it looks like, to go all the way to the edge. There is a little curve there. I'm going to try to follow that inner line if I can. This is the front of the unit, because if you look here, it's got a slope, and the back side is very square. So slope goes toward the front. So when you make your template, you have to imagine that you're making the template, and then you're going to lift it up and lay it on top of the van. And the water lines are going to be on the driver back corner of your template. So anyway, we're going to go cut a hole in the roof, see how this thing comes out. All right, Fresair AC is in. Lines are run. I just use their existing brackets. That cinched it down pretty good. Still going to have to use lap sealant. Where I came in through the roof, I used this corrugated wire loom, because there's some sharp edges around here. So I put it in that and then kind of taped them together and kind of put it to where they can't be touching the sides. And then I drilled a hole through this beam on each side to run these tubes through, and I'll put this also, and I'll put some electrical tape to keep that stuff from moving. You have to kind of really pinch it in there, so I don't think it's going to go anywhere. But anyway, and then I'll turn it so that the seam part where it's open is up, so it doesn't rub through there. And then these will go over. These are not that long. I mean, they're long for a golf cart. I'm standing in the back of my van, so they're probably a good 10 foot long maybe, but not long enough to run over, down, through. If you had your AC mounted in the back, it'd be good. But because of the slope of a Transit, it has this big slope, so the flat part doesn't even start till here. And I have an AC unit. I have a vent fan that fit in there perfectly. I'll show you all this. Fresair people probably don't care, but it's cool. And then I got from basically here to here, which is like 68 inches, I think, to put my 62 inches worth of solar panels.